On this episode, I'm taking you into our garden to show you our nematode problem and what we're doing to fix it. Hi everyone, this is Brian Trafficanti from GardenInMinutes.com, and this is episode 24 of Easy Growing. On today's episode, I'm taking you into our garden and showing you a problem we've been having with plant-parasitic nematodes and what we're doing to really fix the problem. Now, plant-parasitic nematodes are also known as bad nematodes. They're the ones that go ahead and feed on the roots of your plants and cause them to basically not be able to mature, or if you're doing growing a root crop, it causes them to have a lot of disfigurement, which is a really easy telltale sign. So if you go ahead and take a look at our carrot here, you'll notice it has these weird nodules all over it. And that's because of plant-parasitic nematodes. Now, a lot of times you'll hear people talk about putting French marigold or African marigold and turning it into the garden soil to try to help prevent the spread of nematodes. And that definitely helps. We do it ourselves. But if the problem is bad enough, sometimes you need to basically start over and rid your soil of the problem in the first place. So that's what we're doing right now. It's called Soil Solarization. I'm going to take you through our garden and show you how to do it, what we're doing to prevent this parasitic nematode problem from spreading, and hopefully giving ourselves a fresh start for the fall gardening season. All right, so as I just mentioned, we're going through the process of soil solarization to rid ourselves of our plant parasitic nematode problem. And basically what soil solarization is the process of covering your soil, allowing it to really heat up and kill off these plant parasitic nematodes. What you're going to do, in short, to do soil solarization is you remove all the vegetation of the area, you wet your garden soil thoroughly, so you want to run your garden grid for about 30 minutes to really add a lot of moisture to the soil, and then you encapsulate it with a plastic sheeting to hold in the moisture and allow it to basically collect all the radiant heat from the sun's rays to increase the temperature of the soil to a point where plant parasitic nematodes can't survive. So some quick transparency here. We're using black plastic sheeting in our garden as opposed to the more recommended clear plastic sheeting for a specific reason. We also had a weed problem going on in our garden. And basically black plastic sheeting, while it works really well for soil solarization, also helps with controlling weed spores and weed problems. Now, if you're in a cooler climate, I would definitely recommend going with a clear plastic sheeting. That has been proven to be able to increase the soil's temperature to a higher degree than black plastic sheeting. But we live in South Florida, so right now it's about 95 degrees outside. It's very hot, so and we also have very, very intense sun rays, so getting our soil to a high temperature is not much of a challenge for us. So if you live in a cooler climate, definitely go with a clear or transparent plastic sheeting to try to give yourself as much of a benefit of high temperature in your soil as possible. So with the process of soil solarization, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to remove all the vegetation that you have in your garden. So for instance, in the area that we're just about to do over here, we have some carrots that need to be removed because they have nematode issues. You can see right here, little nodules coming off of it, meaning that we have plant parasitic nematodes in this section of our garden. So what we're going to do is remove all the vegetation here, run our garden grid watering system for about 30 minutes to really moisten this soil. Then we're going to lift the garden grid watering system off of our garden, place it aside, and lay our covering of plastic down over our now moistened soil area in our garden. Then you're going to take this plastic sheeting and do your best to tuck it in to the soil layer beneath here to one, hold it down, and to also really just give it a full covering, not let as much heat out as possible. Then go ahead, you can either lay your garden grid back down on top of the plastic sheeting to either hold it down or just keep it there as a temporary storage until this process is done. Then after 4 to 6 weeks, and if you're in a cooler climate, I would say err on the side of 8 weeks, go ahead and pull this plastic sheeting out, and your soil is ready to plant. All right, so as I just covered, we're going through the process of soil solarization in our garden. We've had a pretty widespread nematode problem across almost all of our areas of our garden bed, as just shown with that carrot I pulled out. And what we're gonna be doing is leaving these tarps on here for a couple of weeks to really cook our garden soil and get rid of the nematode problem. So if you're having a similar issue, go ahead through this process. You go and remove all the vegetation from your garden bed's area, run your garden grids for about 30 minutes to really moisten your soil, then cover it with a plastic sheeting that you will want to tuck into the sides of your garden bed to really encapsulate everything. Then go ahead and either lay your garden grid back on top to hold the sheeting down further, or put it aside for the next couple of weeks while this process undergoes. After 4 to 6 weeks, and if you're in a cooler area of the US, I would say 8 weeks, go ahead and remove this plastic sheeting, and you're ready to plant your plants. All right, that's it. We'll keep you updated on how our soil solarization process goes, and we'll see you next time.